This is Lamar Jackson, one of the most electrifying quarterbacks the NFL has ever seen. A player once told he wasn't built to throw at the highest level, that he should switch positions. But instead of listening to the doubters, he made history. From a young phenom in Pompano Beach, Florida, to the youngest Heisman Trophy winner, to an NFL MVP, his journey has been nothing short of legendary. But it wasn't easy. The road was filled with skepticism, disrespect, and obstacles that could have ended his career before it even started. This is the story of how Lamar Jackson defied expectations, silenced the critics, and changed the quarterback position forever. But before the records, the accolades, and the highlight reel plays, we have to go back to where it all began. Lamar Demetrius Jackson Jr. was born on January 7, 1997 in Pompano Beach, Florida, a city that breeds elite football talent. But for Lamar, life was anything but easy. At just 8 years old, tragedy struck. He lost both his father and grandmother on the same day. Raised by his mother, Felicia Jones, he grew up in a tough neighborhood where football wasn't just a game, it was a way out. His mom saw his potential early, training him relentlessly, pushing him to be great. From the moment he stepped onto the field, one thing was clear. This kid was different. His arm strength was ridiculous, his speed was unreal, and his ability to make defenders miss almost unfair. He grew up idolizing Michael Vick, and before long, people started calling him Vic 2.0. By the time he reached Boynton Beach High School, Lamar was a walking highlight reel. His senior season was nothing short of dominant. He threw for over 2,000 yards and racked up 31 passing touchdowns, picking apart defenses with ease. But he wasn't just a threat through the air, he was just as dangerous on the ground. Lamar rushed for nearly 1,500 yards and added 22 rushing touchdowns, making him one of the most electrifying dual-threat quarterbacks in high school football. Yet, despite his mind-blowing numbers, top college programs overlooked him. Scouts questioned his mechanics, his accuracy, and some even suggested he switch positions, a theme that would follow him to the NFL. But Louisville saw something special, and as we'll soon see, it was the perfect place for Lamar to prove the doubters wrong. After being overlooked by major powerhouse programs, Lamar Jackson committed to the University of Louisville, one of the few schools that believed he could be a true quarterback. Despite his jaw-dropping athleticism in high school, he wasn't a five-star recruit. Many scouts saw him as an elite runner, but questioned his passing mechanics and accuracy. Some even suggested he switch to wide receiver, but Lamar had one response: "I'm a quarterback. That's it." Lamar wasted no time proving himself at Louisville. As a true freshman, he started multiple games and quickly showed flashes of brilliance. He threw for over 1,800 yards and 12 touchdowns, while adding 960 rushing yards and 11 more scores on the ground. His raw talent was undeniable. He wasn't just fast, he had a cannon for an arm. Even in those early games, it was clear Lamar was special, but no one could have predicted what was coming next. Lamar entered his sophomore season with something to prove, and he delivered one of the most dominant performances in college football history. He threw for 3,543 yards and 30 touchdowns. He rushed for 1,571 yards and 21 touchdowns. His Heisman campaign was undeniable. At just 19 years old, he became the youngest Heisman Trophy winner ever, beating out stars like Deshaun Watson and Baker Mayfield. Even after winning the Heisman, critics still doubted Lamar's ability as a passer. So, in his final season at Louisville 2017, he set out to prove them wrong. He improved his accuracy and pocket presence. He threw for 3,660 yards and 27 touchdowns. He rushed for 1,601 yards and 18 touchdowns. Though he didn't win another Heisman, he silenced the critics. He was no longer just a highlight machine. He was a polished passer with elite decision-making skills. And now, he was ready for the NFL. After an electrifying college career, Lamar Jackson declared for the 2018 NFL Draft. But despite his Heisman Trophy and record-breaking performances, doubts still surrounded him. Many scouts and analysts questioned whether he could succeed as an NFL quarterback. Some even suggested he switch to wide receiver, but Lamar had one response: "I'm a quarterback. That's it." He refused to change positions, refused to run routes, and refused to let the doubters define him. But that defiance came at a cost. Teams passed on him. As the first round neared its end, it looked like Lamar might fall to the second round. But then, the Baltimore Ravens made their move. Trading back into the first round, they selected Lamar Jackson with the 32nd pick. Some called it a steal. Others doubted he would ever become a franchise quarterback. But head coach John Harbaugh and GM Ozzie Newsome had no doubts. They saw what many others refused to see. Lamar Jackson wasn't just an athlete, he was a quarterback. On draft night, Lamar sent a message to the league: "They're going to get a Super Bowl out of me. Believe that." He was ready to prove every single doubter wrong, and he wouldn't have to wait long for his chance. When Lamar Jackson arrived in Baltimore, he wasn't handed the offense right away. The Ravens already had a Super Bowl winning quarterback in Joe Flacco, and Lamar was expected to sit, learn, and develop. But fate had other plans. Midway through the season, Flacco suffered a hip injury, and the Ravens turned to their rookie. In Week 11, Lamar made his first start against the Cincinnati Bengals, and he delivered 117 passing yards, 150 rushing yards, and a win.